it's the start of the show. Got Donny on the left and Paul is good to go. We're in the plastic knee deep, this ain't no time for sleep. It's truth or tinfoil, time to analyze the leaf. Forget the ghost for a minute, we're talking field and court. Grab a phone ball, boys, let's file a sports report. In the ball pit, that's where the truth gets loud. Debating stats and shouting over the whole darn crowd. Paul's got the numbers, Donny's got the feel. Randy's spinning theories, showing what is real. From the trade deadline chaos to who will take the cup, we're breaking down the action, fill that bracket up. Donny says the tide end is faster than a comet. Paul brings up the injury risk and says let's be honest. Then Ramboski leans in with a mischievous look. What if the whole damn league is reading from a script and a book? Just a splash of 10 for them back to the game. Now tell me about the point spread, who deserves the fame? In the ball pit, that's where the truth gets loud. Debating stats and shouting over the whole darn crowd. Paul's got the numbers, Donny's got the feel. Randy's spinning theories, showing what is real. From the trade deadline chaos to who will take the cup, we're breaking down the action, fill that bracket up. Keep your eyes on the ball, keep your mind on the field. Tune in next time for the secrets that will be revealed. Ramboski out.
Hey.
Yeah. So there we go.
You updated the theme.
Yeah, just that little bit. Throw some pictures in there at the end, since we weren't going to have a guest per se, but it gave you pretty much those pictures that you saw right there. That takes care of all the Elimination Chamber. That's all of it right there. It tells you everything right there.
Yeah, you got to update me on what happened at the Elimination Chamber. I wasn't following it, although I did catch the news about Danhausen.
We'll get into that in a bit because I got my own views on that stuff, obviously. Now, yeah, that's a whole segment in and of itself. But anyway, biggest letdown ever, except for the gobbledygooker to me. But still, I had people on Facebook telling me that he's a damn good wrestler. You need to. He does a. He's been forgotten. Period. And I can't even find even a match of his at all on YouTube anywhere. Any of his indie stuff. It's all you see is that freaking hex crap he tries to pull, the curse that he does. And I'm like, boy, they must have paid Adam Cole a lot to sell that shit. Poncho is the guy's name is Danhausen. We'll talk about him in just a few minutes, though. That we'll go a little bit further into that because, quite frankly, and do not get me wrong, I'm not saying
we need to get a picture up there of Danhausen so people can see who we're talking about.
I've got him in here. I just didn't want to show him quite yet, but ladies and gentlemen, this is Danhausen. Okay.
We're talking about wrestling, folks. Wrestling.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I got no problem with the guy. The guy is actually very entertaining when you sit there and take him for what he is. But
why don't you explain to the people listening at home who Danhausen is and what his gimmick is, or like what his?
I don't know. That's just it. I've seen like 3 times in my life. I do not get the dude.
So Danhausen is, for the people who are not familiar, he's kind of like the new breed of wrestler in the YouTube age, where he's essentially gone viral on social media and on YouTube. One, for always staying in character. He kind of portrays like this old-timey, like vaudeville era, like villain.
Yeah, and he like not Vampiro. Like Vampiro used to.
Yeah, he's a very vaudevillian like kind of character.
And that
Um,
dance thing that he did with this, and I couldn't get the actual footage, obviously, because that would have been dinged. But the whole dance thing they did, I'm like, it was just, I mean, my God, dude, this is not the spot in the middle of a PLE to do this. You know what I mean? Especially when you sat there, and I'm going to bring this other picture up right now. This is what they dealt with. They had this crate that went back and forth between SmackDown and Raw
yeah.
for a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it's been, has been doing it, maybe even more.
Mhm.
And they go make a big deal. They open it up, and there's a coffin inside. And of course, I got a lot of these people sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, they brought the Undertaker in for this? What the heck?" You know, because everybody and their dog is expecting Jericho. You know,
Mhm.
what nobody knows though is that Jericho's his, from what I understand, his contract got extended at AEW due to injury time. So his contract was being held up. So he hasn't signed with WWE yet that I know of. So Nemo, he doesn't do the Charleston, but I can tell you right now, the stuff he was doing, he made it look like some of the stuff he was doing with the girls that came out with him. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some good looking girls that came out with him, all dressed up as devils and got the white face and stuff like that too. One of them is actually his wife. I found out too. Uh,
He's very
but
tongue in cheek. Like
yeah,
he's like overtly like a comic book like vaudeville villain,
that's
but
exact.
so much so that it comes off as goofy. But that's the point because he's kind of like
Yeah,
a comedy
he's
wrestler.
trying to be. That's why me and another guy
Yeah,
online we were talking about is like, we can see this. We could
yeah.
see the tag team just right now. Truthhausen. Come on. Our truth in this dude would be gold. Okay.
He definitely is a product of like the indie style of
Yes.
wrestling because he's very much like an indie guy, right? Because
Yeah.
indie wrestling they have all the weird gimmicks.
Yep.
You
And
know,
because
they
they
have all
got
the
to
tongue in
sometimes.
cheek kind of wink at the camera kind of gimmicks, right?
But here's my biggest, and we've turned this into this already because I was going to go get into it later. But
Yeah.
he has, you go out and get this dude. He's 5'10", 180 pounds. And don't get me wrong, from what I understand, he can actually wrestle. He's actually fairly decent. And I've watched a little bit. He's got a Chris Van Vliet uh, interview out there that he does it out of character. He's not in his, in his makeup or anything like that. He does it straight out of character, just a regular old guy type thing. I've watched a couple of them, and I mean, I understand what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
But number one, that's not the spot. Once again, he should have gone to NXT first and then brought him out like that first down there, like they did with Finn Balor with the Demon. Remember, that's how they brought the Demon into being when they brought Finn Balor. Prince Devitt is what we always called him because he was an indie guy. He was always Prince Devitt in Ring of Honor and such.
Mm.
But he would never do the Demon one unless it was like a big thing. You know, it had to be special. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Danhausen is Danhausen all the time.
Yeah.
So
He was
it
saying in the Chris Van Vliet interview that his character was inspired by Conan O'Brien. Gives you an idea of the kind of character that he
yeah.
portrayed.
And like I said, I've seen the guy probably 3 times. Don't get me wrong, I get it. I know why they signed him because he finally got out from under his AEW contract. But
Mhm.
that is not the one that these people in Chicago wanted to see, and they shit all over him. They really did. And even
Well,
after it was
I heard
all
the
done,
crowd was largely dead.
it was the entire time. There was not. But another guy, James Romero, I guess, is on here. He does stuff with Dirty Dutch Mantel and a couple other guys, Stevie Richards and several others when they do for their little podcasts and stuff. And he does his own little takes on stuff. He said he got it. He understood it. I'm like, I, he's not the guy you bring out in this situation. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. He's not big enough for that.
Mhm.
But they did it. It's all over now to the point that after he got done and they all left, even Michael Cole sitting there at the desk going, "What the hell was that?"
Right.
That's all he could say. I'm like, hey, you know, I get it, but now what's he going to do if he gets out there and breaks his leg again? I heard he did real good in Ring of Honor, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of Ring of Honor guys that don't make it in the WWE because it's just not big enough. They can't take the punishment.
Right. Yeah, I don't think WWE is going to handle Danhausen very well. They're
No.
gonna shit the bed on that one because
Oh yeah.
yeah, if they have like weird indie guy in there, like if you had like an Orange Cassidy or something, they're not going to know what to do with him.
No, I mean, in Orange Cassidy, that's another one. We could talk about him in another show as well. I mean, because
Yeah.
another indie darling, but when he gets up in there with the big dogs, he don't look that good. You know what I'm saying? So, oh well, it is what it is. Hey, the dude's getting paid. I commend him. He's going to get paid no matter what. So, get
Yeah.
after it. So, anywho, so as we started everything out, we're just going to start at the beginning, okay? As we started everything out, the very first thing was the women's Royal Rumble. God, Elimination Chamber.
Hmm.
All right, you see that little girl right there, Kiana James, right there, and with Asuka. That
Yep.
girl showed up. Okay, I did not expect the kind of work rate out of her that I saw. I expected her to be more along the lines of, hey, just she's a filler type thing. She got a chance to shine, and she did real good. I thought she
Hmm.
impressed me a lot. Quite frankly, I would like to see her turn on Julia and have her and Julia go back and forth and see what happens. Because
Hmm.
I think she can go with Julia. But needless to say, it went back and forth, and freaking Tiffany Stratton ended up eliminating. I can't remember which one it was, but it ended up being Rhea and Tiffany Stratton as the last two, and of course Rhea
Hmm.
Ripley ends up taking it. So, and yeah, the one that showed up other than Asuka was kind of there, but Asuka wasn't really there long. You know what I mean? She
Yeah.
got eliminated at the same time as Kiana James. Uh, but she when she left it kind of it lost more of the punch. I thought she needed to be in there longer because I think she gives more punch to that bunch. You know what I mean? She
Hmm.
has more. Her and Ripley are obviously the most credible ones of the bunch. Okay,
Yeah.
but Raquel Rodriguez is another one. She showed up and she did real good too.
Mm.
And she had a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction, from what I understand. But I didn't see it. I wish I'd have saw it.
Oh.
Quite frankly, I think she's a good looking woman. She might be 18 feet taller than me, but still, a good looking woman. So, yes, Stonehenge.
I'm gonna have to Google
Stonehenge.
that wardrobe malfunction later.
Yeah, take a look. See, there's bound to be stuff out there on it, but she ain't got a whole lot up there to start with. But either way, that's a big woman, you know. I mean, she's tough and she can actually put on decent show. She's the best match for Rhea Ripley a lot of times because the size of the two of them, they could play off. They've learned to play off of each other really well over the years. So, but now you got Rhea's going to be going after freaking Jade Cargill, which I'm sorry, they're going to have to dump her sooner or later.
Mm.
This is another one that they brought in and bid on because she's got the look. She sucks, but she got the look.
Mm.
And then they proceeded to use her on SmackDown a week ago or whatever it was. Buried Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace might as well never come over.
By the way, Confessions of a Haunted Doll Mom is asking, what does your hat say?
No, I'm not wearing my Longhorn hat. I'm wearing my Stonehenge hat. Stonehenge,
Stonehenge?
established 3000 BC.
Nice.
That's Miss Jocelyn. Hi, Miss Jocelyn. How you doing? Anyway, she's a Sooner fan. I have to take her for a grain of salt type thing half the time anyway. So finish that up. Rhea gets done, and the very next thing they have, of course, I'm not even. I'm just going to show you the winner part because this match was horrid. I'm sorry, they botched so many spots. It wasn't even funny.
Who did?
It was Becky Lynch and AJ Lee,
Oh, they had a
and
one-on-one?
yeah, they had the one for the women's intercontinental title.
Oh, man, it was
And
a botch fest? Oh,
it
man.
wasn't a botch fest, but there was a lot of spots you could tell that AJ is still kind of getting the ring rust off a little bit. Their spots were
Yeah.
spot on, And I'm sorry, I still can't believe the Black Widow as a submission hold at all. It absolutely looks idiotic because the person that she's putting it on has to hold her on their back.
Hmm.
So I'm like, no, this ain't nostalgia's over. Go back to wherever you were at. I mean, it's just not. It's not good. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was no 5-star match. It was a good 2.5, 3-star because they kept the pace up for the most part. And quite frankly, Becky Lynch is an amazing heel. She'll make everybody hate her. You know what I mean? And so that ended that. And then what do you
Especially
think?
since she was starring in Starfleet Academy.
Oh
That'll
yeah,
really get people to hate you.
yeah, yeah. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
She didn't star. She barely had 2 words, and she was a daggum. I think she was comms. I think a communications officer of some sort. She was in 1 episode, I think, maybe 2. But
Okay. She's
yeah,
not a
she's not.
regular.
No, she's not a member of the cadets or whatever, and a regular
Mhm.
cast member. She was just part of the bridge crew when they were moving that one ship back to Earth. So,
Oh, okay.
but if you ever watched Young Rock, did you ever
Mhm.
get to watch any of that?
No,
She
I've been
played.
meaning to though.
If you ever get a chance to watch it, it's got some funny parts. She plays Cyndi Lauper during the rock and wrestling era,
Oh, really?
and she nails Cyndi Lauper spot on.
Hmm.
Voice, accent, all of it. I was like,
Does
man,
Cyndi Lauper have an accent?
yeah, Jersey, New York accent.
And Becky Lynch did the accent?
Yeah, she had her
Oh
down
man,
pat.
I gotta YouTube that.
Yeah, she nailed it. She was doing great.
What were some
Uh,
other fun cameos in that show?
oh Lord, Ronnie Chang, you know the comedian Ronnie Chang.
Yeah.
He played the booker that was trying to infiltrate Hawaii, the Hawaii territory during his grandmother's time.
Hmm.
He played that guy. I'm trying to think anybody else as far as an actual cameo. I think she was pretty much it. Of course, yeah, there you go, Mickey. You got it. It's a Brooklyn accent, is what she did. So
And she nailed the accent. Impressive.
no, no, Zorch, Poncho, no, not the girl in the tent. So, but anywho, so as we're going along with this, and we get right into the next one, which turns out to be our illustrious guys. I'm telling you, the 2 chamber matches bookended this. Okay, there was as much time dedicated to entrances as there was to the match. Okay, we're talking 30 to 45 minutes just to get the people into the ring. They all got full entrances, and I'm just sitting there going, I want to poke my ever loving freaking eyes out. Because I'm like, God damn it! Don't you people know that you got people that have paid stupid? No wonder the damn crowd's quiet. Nobody gives a shit about the entrances. Get them in the damn ring and get them going. All right, but no, the women's elimination chamber. It took about 30 minutes to get everybody in, and it lasted about 35 to 40 minutes max. The men's every bit of 35 40 minutes to get everybody in, and it lasted maybe 40 minutes, maybe. So there's hour and a half. There's 2.5 hours gone already, just in entrances and the chamber matches. So the other guys in the middle, which were AJ Lee and Becky Lynch, and our world title match, which was CM Punk against our favorite Finn Balor, which I still think Finn Balor can go with pretty much the best of them in the world, all day long, every day. They put on a pretty good show. A lot of I shouldn't say miss finishers, but once again, we're back to that thing about somebody kicking out of all the finishers. Okay, it used to be the coup de grace that Finn Balor does, that top rope stomp that he does. Nobody ever kicked out of that. Nobody. Well, he kicked out of it twice. CM Punk did. Not once, but twice. You know what you've done to that freaking finisher then? It's complete, absolute trash now. You can't do anything about it. Anybody that doesn't kick out of it is, well, you just put them below CM Punk. Nobody could do it but CM Punk. But problem is, everybody that's faced Finn Balor of a certain level has all kicked out of it now. So I don't know. It just is. The world title match was a good match, and it was my style of match. It's that ground and pound type match, and such. Now CM Punk obviously wins. I mean, nobody ever expected. I have to watch myself because I'll try and call him Prince Devitt every time if I ain't careful. But Finn Balor, nobody ever expected Finn Balor to do anything.
Finn Balor and CM Punk, it turned out good.
Yeah, it was a decent little match. I mean, of course, you put those two in there, they're going to have a good match. It's just whether or not they're going to have that 5-star classic. You know what I mean? And they did not have that, and the reason they didn't have that, quite frankly, which when they did it in Belfast in Ireland, with what's his name, with Prince Devitt's Finn Balor's hometown, they put on a barn burner. They put on a show. It was an amazing match. But with this one, it's a crowd. Once again, we've got a crowd that is completely freaking dead. It's been dead the entire night. I don't think I heard a cheer once. I really don't. So I'm like,
Chicago.
Why is this? And Chicago used to be the wildest town in the world.
Yeah, for people who don't know, Chicago is one of the hot spots for
always has been.
Crowds.
Yeah,
that's where AEW got its start.
Yeah, AEW got started there, and so well, and you think about those kind of towns that places get started like at Chicago and freaking Philly are the two tops. You know what I mean? They're rabid fans when it comes to wrestling most of the time. This crowd was so subdued and so quiet. You didn't know whether they were happy or not. And this guy Romero on here, he brought up a good point. The pricing has gone so bad, you've priced it out of the reach of the fans that are going to go there and make noise. Everybody else is going to sit there and watch. That makes sense. I'm like, okay, yeah, because you ain't getting no rowdy, redneck out there or somebody from the streets or something. You're getting these people that have paid thousands of dollars to get in there, and nobody cares. They don't care what the hell happens. They're just there to say they're there. They're not. They might be fans, but they're not the fans that make everybody know they're fans. Yeah. There was a sign I saw. I don't know if it was AI or not, but there was a sign when I forget who it was. One of the ladies was coming in. I think it was Kiana James. I think when she was walking in, it being introduced, the guy held out the sign. I overslept. When is Tatanka versus Lex Luger? I was like, oh my God, that's just freaking stupid. But it was fun. Then, once again, of course, he ends up winning finally, but I'm telling you, Punk got busted open in the lips early. He took a shot to the face and he bled all around his mouth and everything early on. And his mouth was a bloody mess. They finish up, he gets done, and they actually shook hands, and everything, which I kind of figured Balor would do because I think they're about to do a face turn with him because they're going to have Dom turn on him and probably actually take JD McDonough with them. But that's probably what's going to happen next. But the oh my gosh, this dude, they put on a great show. I'll give them that. Nemo, you are right. There is a bid in right now. I'm gonna show this right now. Chicago is losing the Bears. Not necessarily losing them. They're still in the general vicinity. But they'll actually be in Indiana if everything goes the way it's going. They'll be on the Indiana side. Little Patty, this is what we're talking about. Just like that. Chicago used to be a wrestling town. And it may, if you give people enough, value for the buck, they might actually spend to go see it again. You know what I mean? And Nemo, yeah, there's a lot of the stuff that's going on. You might as well go to the opera because after all that happened with that's when they brought out the the case, and they brought it all out. And of course, they made a big show of the two GMs. Now, I want you to look at these two guys. That's Adam Pierce on the left side, and Nick. Damn it! What the hell's his name? My mind went blank on him. He's married to Mickey James. Nick Aldis. Okay. These two are former world champions, and people don't even realize it. Adam Pierce held the NWA World Championship for a good amount, and Nick Aldis was TNA champion for a long time as well. So, you know,
He's also NWA champion.
What's that? Oh yeah, he was NWA too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
So, I mean, these guys are accomplished, and that's why I was happy when they brought Pierce in and brought, you know, Aldis right behind him. Like, these guys, for real wrestling fans, these guys have legitimate credentials. You know what I mean? You could see Adam Page getting down with somebody if he wanted to, you know, type thing. But I'm glad they're not. I'm glad they're keeping them separate type thing. But they open this thing up, and there's the coffin. I don't know what to think at that point. And then this dude comes out.
Danhausen.
Okay. You see that look he's doing right there? That's one of his wrestling moves, actually. According to everything I've been watching, anyway. That's one of his wrestling moves. Gotta be. Have you seen him do the curse move?
I know of it. I haven't seen him. I haven't watched any of his matches.
That's because you can't hardly find him anywhere. Which makes me wonder, is he that good or is he that bad? Or did he get out there and shame somebody into taking his stuff down? You know what I mean? I watched a couple of stuff from AEW before he got hurt, and he pulled that crap on Adam Cole, and Adam Cole bounced around on the ringside like somebody had shot him with something. I'm like, the hell is this crap? This is worse than the Joey Ryan dick flips, okay? Which there is a video out there of Cody Rhodes taking the dick flip. Just to let y'all know that it's out there.
Yeah.
And it's quite. I don't know how Rhodes got talked into that bullshit, but yeah. So Danhausen comes out, biggest anticlimactic bullshit I've ever seen, because I thought for sure it was too easy to say it was going to be Jericho, so I figured it'd be somebody different, but I did not expect him. Now, like I said, there's comedy gold to be had there, and you need comedy in wrestling, and that's why R-Truth is still around at the age of 55 or whatever he is, because he's that damn funny. In fact, he did a bit on the thing on Friday Night SmackDown on that damn box, saying he smelled it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: will WWE give Danhausen the creative freedom to do what he needs to do to win people over? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. No. Yeah. Nemo, I thought for sure maybe if you look
Nemo
at it,
says, looks like he hosts a horror movie show. Yep.
Yeah, a Mystery Science Theater 3000
or
some crap, you know.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I mean, it's okay. I mean, if they do something with him and they make it work, I'll be happy for it. I just don't see it now. We go with what we go with after that, but that gives way to the monstrosity that was. Let me see if I can find the right one. The actual chamber. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's Orton, just a picture of Orton, but the chamber was, how can I put it? It was there. It was good early on when you could sit there and you had people like, you had Trick Williams and Javon Evans. The freaking, this idiot announcer they've got out there instead of the girls that was doing this, they had this guy doing it, and he didn't, Javon Evans, right? Bring Javon Evans out. He's the very first one. Calls him Javon Williams. He literally called him Javon Williams.
Damn.
And I'm just sitting there going,
who called him that?
The ring announcer over the
ring
PA.
Announcer called him that?
Over the PA.
Oh, man. Ring announcers don't make mistakes like that, man. Damn.
This dude did a couple of mistakes that night. I mean, because he was bad. He was not good at all.
They're using a different person than they usually use?
Yeah, that girl that's usually there for the big ones, she wasn't there. Yeah. I don't know what was going on with it. But I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, that
dude's a Howard Finkel.
Damn.
It was not good. But either way, they do. And of course, Javon Evans is bouncing all over the place, everywhere, up the aisle. He's jumping into fans' arms and shit like that. He's doing all that. And then he goes in. He was one of the two that were left. They announced everybody else, put them in their places first. And then him and who was the other guy? Him and Cody Rhodes were the ones that started it. Okay. And he flopping around all over the place. You know, he's trying to make it look more extravagant than it is when he's flying. And when he does it, he's throwing Rhodes off because Rhodes doesn't know where he's going. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He looked at him, he got mad at him and cornered him in the corner. You could tell he was talking to him. That you need to calm your ass down because you're flying around here like a chicken with your head cut off. But Evans is amazing to watch too. He's fun to watch, but he can botch stuff real easy if he isn't careful. And so them two, and then they bring Trick Williams in as the next one, and they start going back and forth, you know, stuff. And I sat there and I was looking at it. Somebody did a meme up that had a new Nation of Domination with freaking Cody Rhodes leading them type thing. I'm like, no, but I'm sitting there looking at it. Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Carmelo Anthony, and put Obafemi in there. There's a Nation of Domination for your ass right there. All them guys can go, you know. I'm like, man, that would be interesting. And make Booker their leader.
They should make Cody their leader.
That's what the meme had. I'm like, no, but Booker could be there. Booker could do it. Booker T could do it in a heartbeat. But I think they got something else planned for Obafemi, so which he was obviously absent from everything too. So those two get after it, and then Trick Williams comes in. They all go back and forth. They had a couple of good little spots. Then they brought in freaking Logan Paul, and he started talking shit the minute they opened the door. All three of those guys teamed up on him and started beating his ass. Threw him through one of the plexiglass doors of the things, the chamber pods and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, they're showing people that, hey, we're gonna beat this outsider's ass type thing, which they didn't, obviously. And quite frankly, I still think Logan Paul is probably the best heel in the company right now. But they bring in Paul, and Paul starts actually sneaking wins. He pins Javon Evans after Evans missed a what do you call it? What was, he went for one of those OG cutters or whatever, and freaking Trick Williams just caught him. Caught him, and it did a little spine buster with him. And right after that, he gets nailed by a frog splash from what's his name, Logan Paul, and Javon's gone. A couple minutes later, something happens. Trick Williams is gone. Now you got those guys gone. Logan Paul's in there. Who's the other ones? You had Trick. Jey Uso got taken out, so that's why Logan Paul got put in there. You had Orton was still in the pod. Who was the other one was in the pod? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head now that I think about it, because I can't remember who was in it because they wasn't in very long, I don't think. Man, my mind went blank because I'm still thinking about Trick Williams and his, because Trick Williams gave a high knee to one of them, and that looked like it took their head off. He did one of those trick knees that he does, and it looked like he took the dude's head off. I think it was Paul. Paul sold it so well, it looked like he was out. I mean, he had been just decapitated almost. But ends up being Logan Paul. Was it Logan Paul? No, I don't think it was. I think Logan Paul was powdering. It was. Let's see who was in it here. I want to see who was actually in the actual match, because it's one of those things that he wasn't there long to really. LA Knight. Sorry, LA Knight was the other one. God, my mind was going blank there really badly for a minute. Anyway, LA Knight wasn't it, but they were going back and forth with him, Paul. Williams was gone, Evans was gone, and he had Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes still there, right? Well, I'm going to show y'all this right now. And this is what happened. This is from a fan that took this video, okay? You know,
Are we
LA
able to
Knight
show this?
is from a
We're
fan.
able to
So
show this, right?
yeah, it was on
Yeah.
Facebook. So
Yeah.
it was a fan film. So either way, I'm not monetized. I don't care. Credit to whoever the fan was that shared it on Facebook. Okay. You know, he does that little pop up where he jumps up onto the third rope from the second and delivers that elbow, right?
Mhm.
That's what he was going for. This is what happens. Once I get where I can find it here. Now you hear that guy in the background? He said, "Oh, he messed up again." He does this at the big stages. He does it on the big stages every freaking time for whatever reason. Now, as you're watching it, watch Randy Orton. Watch Randy Orton.
Every time!
You see Randy Orton laughing his ass off there, right? One more time. I'll pull it right here. Watch Orton's face. Look at him laughing. His tongue's out. He's giggling like a... I mean, come on, dude. Really? You've been given every opportunity. You've gotten yourself over, and you constantly make this level of mistake again and again. Oh, and by the way, there's another ex-TNA champion in LA Knight, Max Dupree, whatever you want to call him now. It was because he's Eli Drake there. And he was a TNA world champion for a while. So, he should not be making these mistakes at this level.
It's a bad look. I think that's ultimately gonna. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be pushed.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Plus, he's too old. I think his career's gotten as high as it's going to get.
And Nemo sounds like you're trying to forget the show, Randy. Yes, to a certain point, I am. Now there were other parts of the actual the match that were good. As you lead up to the end of it, with and I'll tell you straight out, Randy Orton wins. Okay, Randy Orton wins, but we've got a spot where Logan Paul is sitting there getting ready to do his thing, and they have this mask guy come in again. You know, that mask man's been coming in doing the run in on the Vision, right? It was revealed this off the wall dude on Monday night or whatever it was. They didn't know who he was. Same thing happened on Friday night, and another one did it on Saturday night. Started to go up the cage, they get him down, take it off. Nobody knows who this dude is. But while all the security's going back, all of a sudden another masked man gets in the open doorway and curb stomps after a super kick. Curb stomps Logan Paul, but he takes his mask off, and guess who's back? And that look right there is him looking dead into Paul Heyman's eyes.
Seth Rollins was the masked guy?
Yeah, that's what they want you to believe. But he didn't do it until this one right here, I don't think. I don't think he was involved in the Rumble one at all. I think this guy right here, he did it on this one, and this has been the only one he was actually under the mask for. So, yeah, well, he stomps him and stands there and stares at him. Cody Rhodes grabs him and does a crossroads and pins Logan Paul. Send Logan Paul off with Seth Rollins to do whatever they do or whatever. And that leaves who was it? Oh no, who was somebody came? Yeah, because there was another a little run in, or maybe it was Trick Williams. Maybe Trick Williams was still in at this point. Either way, there's another one left in there after Paul, right? And when he does a crossroads on him and throws him into an RKO, or no, I'm sorry, there was an RKO, and then he's thrown into Cody Rhodes to do a what do you call it? Because Paul was staying. That's what it was. Paul was still in the ring and being a what about stuff. And so he gets an RKO, gets thrown in for another crossroads. After he hits crossroads, he turns around. Orton hits him out of nowhere with an RKO to win it. I'm like, could we not have? I mean, okay, we're still on this nostalgia tour, I guess, this year, aren't we? We got to be, because I don't get why Orton would be the one to be put into the WrestleMania slot against Drew McIntyre. I don't get that. Now I'm done with Cody. I think Cody needs some time away from the title, but why?
Who else would you put in there instead?
If
Go against Drew?
If Jacob Fatu could stay healthy, I would say him, because he's already been an MLW champion and everything. So I think he could do it, but he can't stay healthy for whatever reason. He just cannot. These rings and the heights and the widths and stuff that he deals with in WWE are different than what he dealt with in MLW and the Indies and such. So I'm wondering if that's what's causing his issues with these injuries. Nemo, I don't want to say Cody is a disappointment. I think he's run his course. Much like when he started up AEW when they first got going, and Cody was the head honcho. Really, he was, without him, that promotion never gets off the ground. Okay, but eventually they run their course. I mean, you can only have him up there in the top spot for so long, and he understood that. So when he came back, he was able to get in the top spot here. But now he's been in that top spot for the better part of 3 years now. He's made him into 2 WrestleManias in a row. Nobody wants to see it again. So actually, he made him into 3 WrestleManias in a row. Now I think about it, 2 against Roman Reigns and 1 against John Cena.
I mean, they're running out of ideas, Randy. That's what it is.
I agree, but you know what? You're never going to see Danhausen make a run at a world title. It's not going to happen. I mean, you aren't going to see that in any way, shape, or form in AEW either, though. I'm confused. I'm honestly confused by them. I mean, they know what it takes to put asses in the seats. The guys that are back there know what it takes. You're not putting the right asses in the seats, obviously.
Right.
Because this would have been a totally different PLE, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, if they'd have had a live crowd, a real crowd that was into it. None of them were into it. They even had Giannis there. You're in Chicago and you got a Milwaukee Bucks star there. Are you fucking stupid? Excuse my language. Are you fucking stupid? You're in Chicago Bulls area and you bring in a Milwaukee Buck as a guest. That's idiotic. And I don't think I saw any other celebrities at all there outside of him. So,
Well, Pat's like, I miss the old wrestling when it actually looked real.
oh yeah.
Yeah, if you want real wrestling, Danhausen's not the direction you want to go.
No,
like realistic looking wrestling.
No. I mean, I was reading an article today. I say an article. Somebody wrote a little story out on, I think it's Wrestling Stories, whatever it is, on Facebook, and they were talking about Terry Taylor way back when, or earlier, a couple of years ago, whatever. Talk about wrestling in the WCCW area in Dallas and such with the Von Erichs, and he was only here. He wasn't here for a cup of coffee. I mean, I don't remember, but like 2 matches that dude had here, and he said that he had made the mention that Kevin would take liberties in the ring, and I'm like, and Kevin's probably the least you would think would do that of the boys. You know what I mean, of the Von Erich boys. But I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, now wait a second. Both the Freebirds and the Von Erichs have already said they didn't pull punches because everything had to look as real as possible, because they were the ones that came up with that handheld camera, at the ring, right in the face. If you didn't see it, if they saw you pulling a punch, you could delegitimize. They were trying to keep it as legitimate looking as possible. So, and they told people straight out, if you can't hack it, go somewhere else. It was stiff. It was a stiff work. Michael Hayes will tell you the same way. It was a stiff working business in Dallas at that time. And I don't doubt that Kevin laid into him a couple of times, especially because Terry Taylor has a little bit of a I don't want to say a reputation, but I mean he did have a little bit of a reputation of being a whiny little bitch. He didn't like getting hit. He didn't like stiff work. That's all there was here. Anybody ever seen Terry Gordy and Bruiser Brody go at it? There ain't a whole lot of pulling punches.
Yeah.
So that's the way the whole area was at that time, the whole territory. So, but then again, that was the same way with a lot of them in the 70s and 80s. If you wanted to go be pretty boy, you need to go up to New York and be pretty boy. You didn't do it down in the South at the different, what you call it.
Yeah.
So, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, because like I said, she's right. Little Patty's right. That old school stuff, it looked real because most of the time it was real. I mean, case in point. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember WCW back in 92, 93 time frame very well. But this is before, it might have been even earlier than that. No, it had been 92, 93 because I watched this out on Johnston Island when I was stationed out there.
I saw some of it, not a whole lot.
Do you remember
yeah.
the matches between Vader and Cactus Jack at that time?
Those I did not see.
I'm gonna tell you what now. Vader didn't pull punches. He would not obviously try to hurt somebody, but him and Mick Foley, they kind of talked to each other before and said, "Okay, hey, we need to make this look as real as possible." And Vader, I mean, they're in a corner, and you could see his fist crushing into the nose and face of Cactus Jack. There's no way. I'm sorry. I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, how is he standing? This dude is getting waylaid. I mean, and then he covers his head and he does it looks worse than what it is when he's doing that boxing, the clubbering or whatever that he did in the corner. That didn't hurt as much, but when he's sitting there holding him and you see that fist come across and he's doing that right across his nose and face like that. And then the power bomb on the cement. I don't know how Cactus Jack ever walked after that.
Powerbomb on cement. Yikes.
Yeah, they ripped up the padding on the side. Harley Race pulled the padding up, and Vader power bombed him on the cement.
That's an ouchie.
That looked like it hurt more than him even being thrown off the top of the cage at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, little Patty. That match that you're talking about right there with Cactus Jack. Talking about Cactus Jack was actually Mankind at the time. But in Undertaker, you're talking about that Hell in a Cell that I was talking about. And that's the one he threw Mick off of it. And you listen to the Undertaker talk about that match this day. He's like, I don't know. I thought the dude was dead. I was scared I'd actually killed him. So, but Foley was not one to half-ass anything, though, at all. So, yeah, I mean, but Cactus Jack, that was the persona before any of them, when he really got into the hardcore stuff. But him against Vader, I mean, if you go out on YouTube, you'll find the other one, the one from Japan where Vader fought, that famous one with Vader fighting Stan Hansen, and Stan Hansen hitting him so hard it knocked his eyeball out of his socket.
Yeah.
He's actually sitting there holding it like this, trying to get it back in while the referee's keeping Hansen to the other side. Nemo, yeah, that was a tricked up coconut though on that one. Unfortunately, Jimmy Snuka's head wasn't as hard as he thought it was, and obviously he was probably so high on cocaine at the time it wouldn't have mattered anyway. That dude was a beast, from what I hear. The different road stories about Jimmy Snuka, he was flying all the time, and I mean bad. He was bad on the jump. Ooh, that's one of my favorites of all time. Poncho,
the Great Kabuki.
The Great Kabuki. He just wrestled his last match, his quote unquote retirement match. I think he was 79 years old last year.
Damn, he was 79? Damn.
79. His daughters are wrestling in Japan, the way I understand it. but it was yeah, Patty Piper was high too a lot of times, but he wasn't as bad as what Snuka was. Kabuki was if I'm not mistaken, Kabuki was the first one to bring the green mist stuff stateside from Japan. I know they did it a lot in Japan, even in the '60s. With the green mist thing or blowing the mist, whatever you want to call it. He brought it stateside the first time I remember it ever being used. He used it on Bruiser Brody, and that's what turned Bruiser Brody face in this territory here. I mean, Kenji Muto, Great Muta.
Yeah. He just wrestled his last match not too long ago, too.
Yeah, well, it was stated by Gary Hart when Muta first came to WCW in the late '80s and such, and early '90s, that he was the Great Kabuki's son, and it wasn't obviously, but that's what they intimated to be because he blew the green mist as well.
That was my favorite wrestler when I was a kid back in the early '90s.
There's so many things that nobody could do some of the crap that he did. You know what I mean? He was just
that green mist was so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And that bouncy move, he looked like Bruce Lee in there trying to fight. You know what I mean? The way he bounced around and stuff.
Well, he had it was the first time as a kid I saw an actual guy who was like basically marketed as having real life superpowers.
Yeah.
So
Poncho.
That was kind of a big deal.
And Glow. I watched Glow religiously back in the '80s. That's why when they did the show, I was like, oh, let me check this out. And even though the show wasn't quote unquote verbatim the same, it was pretty good. And the show, I'm sorry, Tina Ferrari, okay, who became Ivory in WWE. My God, she could move there, and she proves that she could wrestle when she came to WWE. So, yeah, it was that was a fun one. Honestly, I liked actual watching Glow back then. Because if you watch it on Saturdays, it's usually on Saturday morning on some independent station of some sort. It was so campy and so bad. The ring ropes looked like they were about to fall apart on you. You know what I mean? And it was it was wild, especially when you got somebody like Matilda the Hun, which she just passed away last year too, I think. But there's an actual documentary on Netflix as well where they brought a lot of the Glow girls back together, and they got everybody together for a reunion. And it was it kind of delved into the girl that played Mount Fuji. She was getting her from the convalescent home that she lived in to the place. Yeah. Now, Matilda the Hun wasn't moving around very well either. She was at least there and still in her old heel persona and everything, form and everything. It was really cool to see. They got them all together. Even Tina Ferrari, Ivory came in for it. Bambi, I think Bambi the farmer's daughter. I can't remember if was exactly her name or whatever, but she became a lawyer and she started the stuff getting it all together. She was the one that did all the stuff to pull together the reunion thing. I was like, they had the picture of it, and I'm looking at it, I was like, because Mount Fuji's now gone, Matilda the Hun's gone, so many of the others are gone because, well, you look at it now, they're in their 60s to 70s now, if not older. But yeah,
she's a one and only girl.
Yeah, that was her. She was the only one that ever. Matilda the Hun, actually, she did some indie type stuff for a while as well. I don't come to think about it, I think she did go with Matilda the Hun because I don't think the guys that own Glow ever trademarked anything. So, but either way, the days of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, they just had the sex and the drugs and the women's wrestling. That's all it was. So, but they're not as bad as American Gladiators. But yeah, no, I mean, so as far as a grade for Elimination Chamber, D at best.
It was that bad, huh?
The only reason it gets a D is because of Finn
The
Balor and
botches.
what's that?
Oh, the reason why. Oh no, sorry.
Yeah,
You're
the
talking
only
about why
reason it gets
good
that
points.
high grade is because of Finn Balor and CM Punk. The rest of it, I mean, I
I heard the
enjoyed
women's
watching.
elimination was not that bad to watch.
No, okay. We'll go with a C minus. How's that? Only because it was actually decent.
The
I mean,
Danhausen premiere that brought it down.
and
The men's elimination.
I don't blame Danhausen for that either. You know what I mean?
No, it's
It's not
bad.
his
It's a
fault.
bad mix. It's
Yeah,
WWE's not going to know how to handle him. Whatever
no,
they
they're
do
not.
together, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, if they don't take him and put him with R-Truth, they're missing the boat. They're really missing the boat because honestly, I'd actually if they became a decent tag team and they use that freaky funny shit to win matches, it'd be freaking hilarious. Because who they got for tag team champions now? The Usos again. That's all they got. There's no real tag teams anymore. Can you see them in a match against the New Day as they are right now? That would be absolute gold. Not for work rate, but for just storyline and
I wouldn't trust
pure.
WWE to do it.
No. Well,
He was a better
freaking
fit in AEW.
yeah, but once again, they didn't know how to handle him either.
Yeah, but they would have handled it better than WWE would ever
Oh
do.
yeah, I mean because WWE would botch the damn the Young Bucks coming in too. They'd botch that because they wouldn't know what to do with it.
God, it would be a disaster.
Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
not WWE style. It just isn't. There's nothing you can say or do about it. It's just not WWE style. So
They might. I think they would do Kenny Omega right though.
I don't know if he would ever be
They're not gonna.
accepted.
They're not. They wouldn't place him as the number one guy, but like because he'll be fairly popular, a good work rate, like a upper mid Carter,
At best.
like a
I don't
Finn
think
Balor.
Triple H. Here's the reason I say that. Uh, Triple H, he's an old school guy, and he remembers. I guarantee you, he remembers the Kenny Omega Harley Race issues. Guarantee he remembers them.
Yeah.
I don't think Omega ever comes to WWE.
No, I don't think he ever would. No, not at this point in his career.
No, I mean,
No.
plus
He's
him
near.
fighting.
He's near retirement.
Yeah, he got that diverticulitis. He keeps fighting. I mean, that's going.
Although, I would love a dream match of Kenny Omega and Seth Rollins. I think they would tear
That'd be
the house down
interesting.
together. They would tear the house
They're
down.
both too far past their prime to make it even worth the
Yeah.
crap to watch. Work rate wise, that is. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, Seth Rollins can still go, and Kenny Omega can still go, but can they go at the level that we want them to go?
Well, no, they're both older, but like even though they're past their prime, they can still go.
Yeah.
I mean, Seth Rollins can still go.
Oh yeah, big time.
Kenny Omega has, as long as he's injury free, he can go.
He's got to have the person that can sell his moves as well as he can sell theirs. You know what I mean? That's why him and Osprey work so well together because they know how to sell each other's moves and make it look like they're absolutely killing each other.
Oh, you know who I think WWE would do right though? MJF.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
I think he comes into that heel character that he's in already.
Oh man, he would tear it down.
If he'd have been in that box, that place would have melted there. It would have been, I don't care how bad that crowd was. If he'd have been the one in that box, which we know it's not going to happen, but if he'd have been that one, they'd have melted that place down. It would have gone through the roof.
You know what WWE needs to bring back, honestly? Managers.
Yeah, because they got a Paul Heyman and that's it.
Well, it's because storyline wise, they're too limited. So if you had like a manager adding extra story dynamics,
yeah,
because they really do. When you have like a good manager in there as part of the story, they really add to the story. And plus, you can get like really good like actors or people who are good performers, like fucking Paul Bearer.
Paul Heyman too now.
Fucking Paul Bearer was the best, man.
Oh, dude.
Paul Heyman,
Yeah, Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette was one of the most Weasley managers you'd ever want to see.
Yeah.
But there's no way he ever
I
worked
can't
at WWE.
imagine Paul Heyman is could be doing it so much longer. I mean, he's so old now.
It looks like he's gonna break any time, doesn't it?
He looks like he's gonna like burst at any
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. He's like that little girl in Willy Wonka the Chocolate Factory. The little blueberry, when she comes a blueberry, gonna roll her around, you know. But
How old is Paul Heyman?
oh, I don't know. He's got to be close to late 60s now. He might be mid 60s, but
He's 60 years old exactly.
he's only 60. Wow, I would have thought he was a little bit older than that. Mouth of the South was always funny. You're right, little Patty. That was Jimmy Hart. Ah,
Yeah, I don't think Paul Heyman's going to be around much longer. We got to make sure
Yeah.
he stays, you know.
as long as Brock Lesnar's around, Paul Heyman's going to be around. Because quite frankly, they don't need to let Brock talk. Don't never let Brock talk. He can't talk. He just
Oh,
be over there.
I didn't know this, but Paul Heyman's actually not only is he not married, he hasn't been married for over 20 years.
Really?
He was married once for 3 years and had 2 kids and then divorced.
Hmm.
His birthday is September 11th.
That's probably not good. I don't know. My grandson's birthday is September 11th too. So, yeah, I don't. The managers were needed mainly for people that couldn't talk. You know what I mean? And now almost all of them can talk. Now some of them will botch everything, just like LA Knight botched that daggum that move. He botches his lines all the damn time. Anybody that's ever listened to him talking will hear him botch lines left and right.
Yeah.
So he's over and everything, but I'm telling you right now, they missed the boat on the one. I'm still saying they missed the boat on the one they should have brought back in that coffin. This is my personal full. They should have never let him go in the first place. Freaking Killer Cross. Get rid of that carrying cross bullshit. Bring back Killer Cross. That dude is full of freaking moves and potential, but they don't know how to use it. He handed them
Right on the
an
mic.
angle.
Right on the mic.
Yeah, he handed them an angle. Handed it to them with that shoot interview, quote unquote shoot interview. But then it comes out later after he was released that it pissed off Triple H. You knew what he was doing and it still pissed you off? Give me a fucking break.
He should be he should be like going up against people like Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns needs more opponents, man.
Yeah. He needs to go against Roman
rivals.
Reigns. He needs to go against, because he makes the littler guys look good. Killer Cross does.
Yeah.
I mean, put him in there. He made AJ look like $1 million when him and AJ fought. AJ Styles.
Yeah.
He made him look like $1 million, but he's known AJ forever. You know, they've worked with each other forever. Same thing with you bring him in and have him beat up on LA Knight some. Then have him graduate up to going after Roman Reigns. But quite frankly, he's been in world title contenders and matches everywhere else he's been except for WWE. They have botched him ever since they brought him up from NXT. They fucked him over left and right. So, yeah, I'm not a happy camper with it, but hey, it is what it is now. There ain't nothing I can do about it, but they really screwed that one up big time. But
they more often than not screw up. Like,
yeah, very much so.
Creative.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, it sucks.
Oh, well, I'm done griping because I got to do. Come to think of it, I'm thinking about doing another Grandpa Rants on Friday because I got a bunch of people that got in my way on the road today that don't know how to use blinkers. I got a few choice words for them.
Go for it.
I got behind a lady at Walmart today. I swear to God, her and her husband and her kid there, 2.5 freaking carts full of stuff to like furnish. They spent almost $2,000 in front of me. And I'm looking at it. You know what you got to
And
do.
it was like all junk food, right?
No. This is all stuff to set up a house that they were going up to in Arkansas. And I'm like, kind of stupid shit. You know, there's a Walmart up in Arkansas, right? Yeah. Yes, Nemo. Cars do have blinkers. And guess what? I've got a picture. I got to find it somewhere, but I got a picture of actual blinker fluid. I'm going to give that to people. I'm going to start giving them that picture. Hey, you ran out of the blinker fluid. Patty knows. Patty's seen it. Yes, Patty. There is blinker fluid pictures out there. So. Anyway, that's tough to say because I don't know for sure if I've got an investigation up in Wichita Falls this Friday or not yet. So I got to check that out. That'll be an interesting one in and of itself too. But outside of that, you doing a show on Saturday night?
Thinking about it, I don't know if I feel like it.
Did you do one last Saturday? I don't think I
didn't feel like it. I just wanted to play some Cyberpunk. Just chill this weekend. You know?
Yeah, I understand. And we're liable to start getting rained on on Wednesday, and we won't see anything but rain till next Monday. It doesn't sound like right now. So, But anywho, all right, we're going to close it off with this. We're going an hour longer. We went long. I figured I'd be done about 35, 40 minutes, but it just kept on going. So that's what happens when I rant too much. All yeah, right. Nemo's jumping on. See, look, need more Church of Dogman. You need to do it. You need to do a whole mass on Saturday night, I guess.
Yeah.
Anywho, all right, guys. Appreciate y'all showing up. All my handful of faithfuls out there that like listening to me, bitch. Yeah. We'll talk to you guys later. Have fun.
Peace. Bye.
Take me out to see that game with all the balls, or to the wrestling ring best out of 3 Falls. Donny and Randy talking wrestling and sports. We're talking the ball pit. It's the best, of course, 'cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. Donny and Randy, they freaking called it, 'cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. There's no better podcast, they're all shit. Rob watches the Lions every Sunday night. Who even know which team Paul supposedly likes? Tex likes the Cowboys, it's his only shortfall. Jason McLean, just a fan of sports ball. 'Cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. Donny and Randy, they freaking called it. 'Cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. There's no better podcast, they're all shit. With Randy Gilbert as our YouTube sports guy. Donny Cho knows shit about sports, but he'll try. Donny only knows wrestling and MMA. Together these two for the US of A.